Welcome back to Mini English Tips. We are so excited to have you with us today because, well, today we are doing a massive deep dive into something that is it's going to change how you speak.
It really is. This is one of those core concepts that once it clicks, your English just instantly sounds more natural.
Exactly. I mean, if you think of the language like a camera, right? A lot of the grammar we use is basically just taking still photographs. It's static.
Yeah, totally
You
static.
snap the picture and there it is on film. Just a permanent fact. Like, the sun rises in the east, click. Or, I live in London, click.
Right. It captures this very binary state of the world. It's frozen in time. It either is or it isn't. There's no sense of development or motion in a photograph.
But then you switch your camera over to the live video feed.
Yeah.
And suddenly things are moving. They're fluid. They're in progress. Like right now.
Yes.
And in English, that live video feed has a specific name. We call it the present continuous tense. Or sometimes people call it the present progressive.
Which, I have to say, calling it progressive is actually a beautiful way to think about it because it really is the tense of forward motion. It's active development.
And that forward motion is exactly our mission for you today. We're going to completely demystify this tense for you, give you the real street smart application.
Absolutely. And listen, if you are sitting there wondering why you should dedicate time to this specific grammar rule, here is the secret. This isn't just some boring textbook drill.
No, definitely not.
Mastering the present continuous is the absolute key to sounding natural in spoken English. It's how you express the immediate reality of the world around you.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you misunderstand how this tense operates under the surface, it becomes one of those classic traps. It instantly gives you away as a non-native speaker.
It's a huge giveaway. So let's unpack the mechanics here because this gets really fascinating. We call it the present continuous. Yet, native speakers have this massive unspoken secret about it.
Oh, the time bending.
Yes. We use this supposedly present tense to talk about the future. We use it to complain about our irritating coworkers. And we even use it to tell dramatic stories about the past.
It's wild. A tense that is nominally designed for this exact literal millisecond is actually incredibly elastic. It bends time in ways that are highly psychological.
So before we start bending time and, traveling into the future, we really need to build the machine itself. Let's look at the core architecture. How do we actually construct the verb right now?
Well, the foundational formula requires two essential inseparable pieces. You start with your subject, so I, you, he, she, we, or they.
Okay.
Then you add the present form of the to be verb, that is, am, is, or are. Finally, you take your main action verb and attach ing to the very end of it.
Right. And I actually have a mental image for you guys listening that makes this architecture impossible to forget. Think of that to be verb, the am, is, or are, as the engine of a car.
I love this analogy.
It works so well, right? It provides the power, the state of existence. And then think of that ing on the end of your action verb as the spinning wheels.
It holds up perfectly under scrutiny.
It really does. Because think about the most common mistake English learners make. They say, my brother watching the news.
Oh, yeah. Hear that all the time.
Right. And if we use the car analogy for that, you have the spinning wheels, the ing, but you forgot the engine entirely.
You're not going anywhere.
Exactly. You just have loose tires rolling down a hill. The sentence has absolutely no grammatical power. You must have both.
Yeah.
My brother is watching the news. Engine and wheels.
And to take that analogy a step further, look at the other common error. Someone might say, my brother is watch the news.
Oh, without the ing.
Right. In that case, you have a running engine, the is, but you forgot to put the wheels on. You're just sitting in the driveway with the motor running. You aren't in motion. You need the is and you need the ing together every single time.
Engine and wheels. Always. Now, speaking of making that engine run smoothly, there is a massive difference between how this tense looks on a piece of paper and how it actually sounds when you're ordering coffee.
Yes. This is a crucial adjustment if you want to sound natural. In writing, especially, formal or academic writing, you spell out the full form, I am making a video, you're listening to me.
Sure.
But in everyday, spontaneous speech, native speakers almost never use that full form. It sounds incredibly robotic and stiff.
Hello, I am making a video.
I mean, it sounds like an artificial intelligence from a 1980s sci-fi movie.
Exactly. The mechanics of spoken English prioritize rhythm. English is a stress-timed language, meaning we kind of swallow the grammatical glue so we can land harder on the important words, the actions.
Right.
So you have to use contractions. You squeeze the subject and the engine together. I am becomes I'm. You are because you're.
Right.
She is becomes she's.
So you're saying, I'm making a video, so the vocal energy lands on making and video.
Precise. And there's a real pronunciation secret here that builds right on top of that rhythm, that ing at the end of the wheels. The G is actually a bit of an illusion.
Oh, this is a great pro tip.
Yeah, you do not hit it hard. You don't say, I am sleeping, G-U-H.
Right. The sound is actually a velar nasal. You produce it in the very back of the throat, almost silently. Sleepin', runnin', walkin'.
So softening that sound, combined with the contractions we just talked about, is what takes your spoken English from sounding like a language learning app to sounding like a local resident.
Definitely.
Now, what if you want to ask a question? Say, I don't know, I need to check if the live video feed is actually working.
Question formation is elegantly simple. You just invert the engine and the driver, swap the to be verb and the subject.
Okay, so instead of the statement, you are learning, you flip the order.
Exactly. You flip it to, are you learning? Or instead of, he is driving, you ask, is he driving?
Which brings us to a really strict, somewhat bizarre rule for answering those questions. If I ask you, are you learning? Your basic human instinct might be to just say yes. But native speakers usually offer a short, structured answer.
We do. For a positive answer, the rule is to say, yes, I am, or yes, he is.
And here's the trap for you guys listening. You can never use a contraction for a positive short answer. You can never say, yes, I'm, or yes, he's.
No, absolutely not.
It genuinely makes a native speaker's brain short circuit. But, a lot of textbooks don't fully explain why. Why does yes, I'm sound so terrible to our ears?
It comes down to phonetic weight and structural support. When a sentence ends, your voice naturally needs a solid place to land. If you contract I am into I'm at the very end of a thought, the sound just kind of falls off a cliff.
Oh, right.
There is no acoustic foundation. Saying, yes, he is, gives the sentence the full weight it needs to resolve correctly.
That makes so much sense. But the rules flip completely for negative short answers. You absolutely can, and usually do, use contractions there, like, no, I'm not, or no, he isn't. Because the word not acts as that phonetic landing pad at the end of the sentence.
Exactly. The structure is fully supported by the negative word.
Okay, so we have the car built. The engine is purring, the wheels are spinning, and we know how to steer it phonetically. But I mentioned earlier that this tense bends time. Let's explore the concept of right now. Because present continuous strongly implies it should only be valid for the literal millisecond. The words are leaving my mouth.
Right, it implies a hyperspecific moment. But human experience doesn't work in milliseconds. We use this tense for the extended present.
Extended present.
Yeah, it covers temporary situations that are currently true in your broader life, even if you are not physically executing the action at the exact moment of speaking.
Let me test the boundaries of this. I can say to you right now, I'm reading a really good book, even though my hands are completely empty. There is no book in sight, and I am literally just sitting here drinking a cup of coffee.
And you do that all the time. Reading that book is a temporary process spanning across your current phase of life. You started the book last week. You haven't finished the final chapter yet, so you are technically in the middle of the process.
So the live video feed is still rolling. The cameras is just zoomed out to capture a wider view of my month.
That zoomed out camera concept makes perfect sense. Imagine someone at a dinner party saying, he is studying accounting. The guy is clearly not sitting at the dinner table punching numbers into a calculator.
No, he's like eating lasagna.
Right. But he is currently enrolled in a university program. Or take the phrase, we're staying at a hotel.
Oh, that's a good one.
The hotel example highlights the core philosophy of the tense, which is temporariness. You live in your house. That is a permanent, static fact, which requires the simple present photograph. I live in Canada. Click. But I am staying at a hotel implies a built-in expiration date. You are going to check out. The situation will end.
Which opens up a brilliant application for this extended present, tracking trends. This is the tense you use to capture a world in motion. If you want to describe how society, or the economy, or the environment is shifting, you deploy the continuous.
You see this constantly in the news. The prices of homes are increasing.
Well, wait, why not just say the prices increase?
Well, prices increase sounds like a permanent, static law of physics, like water freezes. Using are increasing frames it as a developing wave. It's a temporary phenomenon that might eventually peak and drop.
Oh, I see. And it applies to pop culture and fashion, too. Like, people are wearing bright colors this summer. It isn't a permanent fact of human evolution. It's just the current cultural wave we happen to be riding.
Exactly. The now is incredibly flexible. It can mean this exact second, this week, or this decade.
So let's push that flexibility to its absolute breaking point. Can the now stretch all the way into the future?
It can, and this is one of the most powerful secrets of native fluency. The present continuous is heavily utilized for talking about the future, but it requires one massive, non-negotiable condition. You must include a future time marker.
Something that signals the time jump, like tomorrow or next week.
Exactly that. Because if I simply say, she is flying to Mexico, your brain automatically boots up the live video feed. You picture her sitting on an airplane right now eating pretzel.
Yeah, I'm picturing it.
But the moment I add that time marker and say, she is flying to Mexico next week, the tense time travels. It transforms into a future plan.
I want to clarify something here, though, because I know the simple present can also talk about the future. For example, our train leaves at 8:30 tomorrow. That is simple present, but it's talking about tomorrow. What is the difference?
There is a razor-sharp psychological line here. The simple present is reserved for fixed, scheduled events that are entirely out of your control. A train timetable, a movie theater showing, a store's opening hours. The schedule is a permanent, unbending fact. The train leaves at 8.
It's the static photograph again. The schedule is printed on paper. Click.
The present continuous, however, is utilized for personal arrangements. These are things you have actively organized yourself with another human being. I'm meeting Sandra later, or we're moving apartments on the 5th.
Because you and Sandra negotiated a time, you picked a specific coffee shop.
Yes, it is personal, flexible, and arranged by you.
I love that distinction. The train leaves at 8. That's the photograph. I'm meeting Sandra at 9. That's the video feed getting ready to roll.
Exactly.
All right, I want to pivot to my absolute favorite detail about this tense, the drama tense, because we can actually use this grammar structure to complain.
This is a slightly more advanced conversational tool, but it is deeply embedded in everyday speech. You create the drama tense by combining the present continuous with specific adverbs like always, constantly, or forever.
So, listener, try to feel the emotional difference here. If I say to you, you always tell me what to do, that is the simple present. I'm just stating a clinical fact. Click. It is almost completely unemotional. But if I fire up the continuous and say, you are forever telling me what to do, or they're constantly arguing, do you hear the frustration bleeding through?
The continuous completely alters the psychological framing. By using the continuous, you are taking a repeated habit and portraying it as an irritating, suffocating process that you are currently trapped inside.
Yes.
It adds immense emotional emphasis, like, my colleague is always playing games on her phone. You aren't just noting her behavior, you are announcing that it drives you crazy.
It hits so much harder. You are constantly leaving your socks on the living room floor. I mean, you can feel the resentment.
You really can.
So we have built the engine and wheels, we've driven around the present, we've time traveled to the future, and we've complained about our coworkers. But every linguistic tool has boundaries. Let's navigate the danger zones where applying this tense will completely derail your English.
And the first major danger zone is widely known as the translation trap. Because different global languages handle the concept of time uniquely, it is very easy to accidentally copy and paste your native grammar directly into English. It's a universal pitfall.
Give me the classic example. What does the trap look like in everyday conversation?
The trap is attempting to use the continuous tense alongside frequency words to describe your regular routines. For instance, someone might say, I am working from Monday to Friday.
Oh yeah, that definitely clunks against the native ear.
Yeah.
But let's look at why it fails.
It fails because from Monday to Friday dictates a permanent recurring schedule. It is a locked-in habit. And as we established earlier, habits and permanent truths belong exclusively to the static photograph of the simple present. It must be, I work from Monday to Friday.
Right. The friction happens because you are trying to force a temporary tense onto a permanent reality. You can say, I am working today, because today will end. Today is temporary. But you cannot say, I am working every Tuesday.
Keep the live video feed strictly separated from your permanent routines.
That brings us to danger zone number 2. What happens when the action isn't physical? What about things happening invisibly inside my head? Can I say to you, I am understanding English right now?
No, and this is perhaps the strictest rule associated with the tense. English has a massive category of words called stative verbs. These verbs describe internal states of being, not physical actions. They govern your mind, your emotions, your senses, and your possessions.
States versus actions.
Exactly. Words like understand, like need, want, own, belong. These verbs completely reject the ing form. The logic here is about the nature of a process. The continuous tense requires an action that has a distinct beginning, a middle, and an end.
Okay.
You cannot willfully start and stop knowing something. You either know the answer or you don't. You cannot be in the active process of needing water. So you cannot say, I am needing water. You must say, I need water.
Let me offer some genuine pushback here, though. If you can never use a stative verb like love in the continuous tense, what about McDonald's? Their entire global multi-billion-dollar slogan is, I'm loving it. Are they just paying ad executives to be grammatically incorrect?
That is a brilliant example of intentional rule breaking. Yes, strictly speaking, it is grammatically incorrect. Love is a state, but advertising agencies know exactly what they are doing.
Oh, they know.
By forcing an ing onto the word love, they are deliberately turning a passive emotional state into an active, thrilling process. I'm loving it implies that eating the burger is an active choice, a dynamic experience you are participating in right now. Native speakers break this rule occasionally for dramatic effect, but as a learner, you really must master the rule before you start breaking it like a marketing executive.
That makes so much sense. They are weaponizing the grammar to make you feel active. But for daily life, keep the ing away from your feelings. You don't say, I am owning a car. My brain instantly rejects the spinning wheels there because you can't actively perform the physical motion of owning. It just is.
So no ing for thoughts, feelings, or possessions.
The final danger zone is visual. Because adding ing isn't always as simple as slapping 3 letters onto the end of a word. Sometimes the spelling of the base word actually morphs.
The visual mechanics of the tense can be tricky. The baseline rule is simple. Walk becomes walking. Eat becomes eating. But there are 3 major spelling exceptions you have to navigate when you're writing emails or texts.
Exception 1, the silent E.
Right. If a verb ends in an E, you must drop that E before attaching the E. The verb dance ends in E. You drop it, resulting in dancing without an E. Drive drops the E to become driving.
And the phonetic logic there is obvious. If you kept the E, you would have an E and an E sitting right next to each other. It would look like dancing and totally confuse the pronunciation. So we would drop it. Exception 2, the I ending.
This one requires a bit of shape-shifting. If a verb ends in I, such as lie, L-I-E, or tie, you completely delete the I, replace it with a Y, and then add your ing. Lie becomes lying, L-Y-I-N-G.
That is just the English language being delightfully chaotic, but the final spelling trap is actually really fascinating.
It is commonly known as the CVC pattern. Consonant, vowel, consonant.
Yes, the sandwich rule.
And it's a great visual. Take a short verb that acts like a sandwich. A single vowel trapped between 2 consonants. Let's take the word sit, S-I-T.
Okay.
S is a consonant, I is a vowel, T is a consonant. When you encounter that sandwich, you must double the final consonant before adding the ing. Sit becomes sitting with 2 T's, stop becomes stopping with 2 P's, run becomes running with 2 N's.
But let's look at why we double that letter, because it isn't just random torture for spelling bee contestants. It is about protecting the vowel sound. Let's take the word hop, like a bunny hopping.
H-O-P.
Okay, H-O-P.
Right. If you just added ing without doubling the P, you would spell it H-O-P-I-N-G.
Which spells hoping, from the verb to hope. Exactly. A single consonant allows the I in ang to reach back and turn the short O into a long O, hoping. But by doubling the consonant H-O-P-P-I-N-G, you build a phonetic wall that protects the short O sound. It stays hopping. You double the consonant to build the wall.
Understanding the phonetic machinery behind the rule makes it infinitely easier to remember. So if you are writing an email saying, I am sitting at my desk, make sure you give that T a twin to protect the short O.
We have covered incredible ground today. We built the engine and wheels, we analyzed the rhythm of contractions, time-traveled, complained, and built phonetic walls.
The sheer versatility of this tense is what makes it so vital. Internalizing it instantly elevates your fluency.
And to help you internalize it, we want to leave you with the ultimate practice hack. You can deploy this technique the second this deep dive ends. The hack is simple. Narrate your life.
It is brilliant zero-cost practice.
As you go about your routine today, think to yourself, or talk out loud if nobody is looking. I do it all the time. And describe the live video feed of your actions. I'm driving the car, I'm making coffee, I'm walking to the store, I'm listening to this deep dive. It trains your brain to instantly pair the to-be engine with the ing wheels without translating it from your native language first.
It forces you into real-time English processing. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final mind-bending concept to mull over.
Oh, let's hear.
We have explored how this present continuous tense captures the literal now. We saw how it stretches to the around now. We even demonstrated how it leaps forward into the future for your personal arrangements.
The linguistic time machine.
But the time machine has a reverse gear. You can actually use this present tense to talk about the past.
Wait, using a present tense for the past? Really?
Yes. In linguistics, it is known as the historical present. When native speakers, especially comedians, or really engaging storytellers, recount a dramatic event from yesterday or even years ago, they will instinctively abandon the past tense and switch into the present continuous. They do this to drag you, the listener, directly into the memory.
Oh, wow. Think about how people talk at a party. A friend telling a crazy story doesn't say, I walked into the office yesterday and they were sitting there. They switch the tense. They say, so I walked into the office yesterday and they're sitting in the meeting room and they're talking.
They're sitting, they're talking. They have pulled a completed past event into the live video feed of the present. It removes the distance between you and the story. You are suddenly experiencing the drama alongside them in real time. It is a masterful psychological trick.
That completely redefines how we look at this grammar. This little structure with its engine and wheels isn't just a rule to memorize. It is a tool for emotional connection and storytelling. So, the live video feed for this deep dive is officially rolling to a stop. Start narrating your life today, keep an ear out for the drama tense, and remember, don't just take photographs with your English. Turn on that camera, attach those spinning wheels, and let the world see what is happening right now.
Absolutely. And if you enjoyed today's program, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the Mini English Tips channel so you never miss a lesson. Also, leave a comment down below sharing your thoughts on today's theme. Maybe even practice your drama tense. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.